Hey guitar people, I gotta do some work on my Gretsch, my 5622T. I got scratchy pots, so I'll have to remove the pickups in order for me to get in there, and then I'm gonna string it up. I need to adjust the pickup height and like a few other things. So we're gonna go through that because I was just thinking I'd record it and throw it out here. This is only for guitar nerds. So if you're not a guitar nerd, you could probably click away and be a lot happier. All right, the Gretsch is going to get the 10s. And I did, these are just some round strings. The Guild is going to get, I'm going to try half rounds. And I put 11s on my Guild. Alright, so what the problem was is I had scratchy pots. If I turn this up and down, it's scratchy. Some of these were too, and I believe it's because I've been playing it outside a lot in Virginia, and it's super humid in the summertime. And then it goes back inside into the AC, and it probably just made some crap in there. So I'm going to put some new strings on. And then I got some of this stuff. It's the spray that you spray on the inside of the pot, which I'm going to probably have to take the pickups out and the pickguard off and go inside from the holes and spray in there. Hopefully I don't have to take these apart. I'll find out, right? So let's do it. Oh, and if you never change this spring just comes right out. You just drop it in there. When you put it down, you want to give it like a little slap or whatever, because it's got to go. It has to go like sit down like flat. Sometimes it'll get like kind of like stuck. It's got to be in there flat like that. And you have to just kind of like jiggle it around and all that stuff. So you take this, I'm going to put it right there. Same with all of our screws. Maybe we'll put them in like a better spot, but let's see what we can do. Look in there. It's an Electromatic. I got this in 2019. Oh yeah, and the reason that you have to go in through the holes if you have to change any of these things is because if you flip it over, there's no access panels. No panels for access. So you can't go in the back unless I drill holes all the way through it or like chop it out like with a steak knife. And then I could like grab this and tear it up and then stick my hand in there. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do it the easy way. All right, so here's your screws that are going to adjust the height up and down. And there's one on this side too, but it's under this. So we got to remove the pickguard. So this thing is like kind of stuck. I'm just going to have that stay in there. And now, so if you look here, here's for the height adjustment. Here, here, and then you got the 2 here and 2 here. Here's the ones that are going to be for removing the pickups. I got a cracked ring. I tightened it way too hard one day. So I got the 8 screws out. Let's see. So this will just come right out. Here's the harness, the wiring harness. And these are cool because they have like some quick disconnect plugs in there. And this one can come out, and I'll probably end up just taking the plugs off. I don't know. I might, well, like see what I have to do. If you want to take a peek inside here, check this out. Now they say center block, and like on a Gibson, it has a block that starts up here and it comes all the way down. On these, for Gretsch, it's not like that. See how this is empty? So it actually starts, here's the guitar neck, it actually starts here. Starts right here. All of this is hollow. And then it actually has a tiny bit of a block right here and here, and then here I can get I can stick a screwdriver all the way up into the horn, and then it goes into the horn this way too. So, and then of course all of this over here is hollow. All this. So, yeah, it does not start here and go down. It starts here. Right here. At your bridge pickup. So, probably going to take these off of here. Now, if you're going to remove these, you want to make sure that you put them back the right way. So like, for instance, so something I learned from being an auto mechanic for a pretty long time is if you're going to take something apart, you have to pay attention so that you know how to put it back together. So this one is my neck pickup. And if you look at that, what color is my wire? It's red. Now if you look at this one for the bridge pickup, what color is my wire? We got a purple wire. So purple goes to the bridge. And also, if you put these back in, you don't want to put it in like this and have that be upside down. So I know that it has to go that way. Exactly like that. I take my bridge out. It's got a purple wire. I take out my neck pickup and it's red. So if you need to write it down, you can do that. So, but then I'm going to unplug these. Just squeeze the tab here. And then you break it off as hard as you can. No, don't do that. Come on, man. I've done this before. Let's see. Although, you want to be careful. Okay, so if I squeeze that, it releases. It's supposed to release. Do I push down on that? I forget. I don't know. Since that one's hanging up, let's try this one instead. See if it's a little bit... Oh, okay. So it's actually a small plug. I was yanking on the wrong part. So the home is a big one. For like the pickup, this is one item. It's got that small, like super tiny end. Okay, so that's good to know. So this one's red. It's my neck pickup. Now this one, I'm gonna yank on the small part. There it goes. Same thing. It's a purple one, and it's got that small connector. So we're gonna set these apart. Now I'm free. It's really clean in here. So I wonder if I can. Okay, so I looked. I mean, like, you're not gonna be able to see this, but I looked on the inside all the way up through here. And you know what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use a headlamp from a bicycle, and I'm gonna take a peek in there and just spray this stuff. It has a spray nozzle. Has one of these things. So let's try it. You can adjust the spray, okay? Let's go for medium, just because we don't know how strong it's gonna spray. Okay, that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna shut this off and I'm gonna go inside here and spray, but I need to be able to like take a peek in there. So hang on a second. It's hard to see. Where am I looking? Okay, right there. Switching that switch. It works it in there. Let's do it like one more time. We'll do it in a position where it's gonna get really. Okay. Let's not use it all up. Let's do the same thing. That is really annoying. Actually, you know what we're going to do too? Is we're going to take the bridge off. Why is it? Oh man, it's bottom down. Okay. Yeah, okay. I had that thing all the way down, but look, it comes right off. Now, when you take it off, what you don't want to do is put it on the wrong way. So look at your saddles. Okay, here look, in my case, you can see right here, the screws are in the front of the guitar. So like they're looking at the neck here. The screws are gonna go that way, like towards the headstock. Okay, so when I take that off, I'm going to put it the exact same way. Put this over here. Now we're going to do the other pots. Let's see. How easy are these to get to? I've never had to do this. Man, you can't even see it. Holy crap. I'm just going to hope for the best. Give this a tiny bend. Give it a little bit of a bend. And bend it in a few spots. Okay, let's see. Man, you can't see anything here. Shoot. Okay. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna do it again. Let's try from a different angle this time. Let's go like this. I want you guys to be able to see it too. We're going up here. That's not very good. After I do all this other crap, because I do one thing at a time. One thing at a time. You know what? I'm going to spray it under here too, because who knows? I don't know how that works. I don't know how electronics works. Let's get that off of the guitar itself. I don't know what that stuff's made out of, but if it wears out, if my paint job wears out, I'm not like really gonna care because it'll probably just look cool. So let's try these other ones. How easy are those to get to? It is almost impossible. But for these ones, I can go in through the F hole. I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I can't really see any. I can see a tiny little bit. Tiny little bit. Oh my gosh. That kind of helps. Kind of helps. Let's get this wiring harness out of the way and try to get in here. Okay, that works a lot better. Okay, now I can see, kind of. Oh, this one I can see. For this one right here. Let's see here. I can spray that. Let's get it right on there. Whoops. Spin it all the way that way. Spray. Give it a spin. And I'll spin it all the way this way. Give it a spray. Give it a spin. I wonder if that's loose. I hope it's not. It wasn't. Just the tiniest little bit. I guess they're all like that. I don't know. Now let's do this other one. I can see that one too. I think this one was pretty scratchy. We're going to do this one a bunch. Come on, baby. Yeah. Get it. All the way that way. Spray. Oops. Spraying the crap out of my paint job. Forget which way I went. It's okay, we're going to do this one a lot. So that was all the way that way. Now we're going to go all the way this way. Whoops. Okay. Okay, now we're going to do this one again. Yeah, that could be a tiny bit tighter. I don't know. I never had a problem with these knobs, though. Actually, for these knobs on this electromatic Gretsch, they are like the best knobs I've ever had on a guitar. They're so good. They're heavy. They're smooth. They're heavy. They're like super smooth. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's as much as I know about this. Just wonder if I should. How would you how would you like retighten that if you even had to? I don't even know how you would get in there. Man, how would you tighten these if you had to? Like, how would you get in there? Actually, maybe it's the angle I'm holding. Yeah, they're pretty. Yeah, it feels pretty tight. Well, this one here is just a tiniest bit loose. I don't know. No. I wonder if that was why it was scratchy. Man, I don't want to have to go do that. I do not want to have to try to tighten that thing. I don't even know how I do it. I have no idea. And like usually on like say a 6120, these holes are way bigger. On this guitar, it has smaller F holes, so it's hard to get in there. Like I can't even get in there. So how would I tighten that knob if I had to tighten it? It's like crazy clean in there though. It is like really clean. Which is awesome. Okay. So my red wire, do you remember which one this was? So we're going to put it in upside down and in the wrong hole. And then for the wire, it's going to go on the outside of the guitar through the F hole like that so that all the cool wires can stick out. Now, it goes in this hole here for the red wire. So I'm going to stick the wire through the hole. I'm going to grab it. It's oriented in the right position. And then it's going to go... Oh, something that I should have mentioned. It's going to go into... It's hard to see it, but like there's a part of the wiring harness where it has like the two plugs and one goes like that. It's going to obviously go in this one. Okay, so we're going to plug it in there. And if I'm wrong and we get some weird sounds, I'll know that I need to swap these, but I'm almost positive. And so for this one, I'll have to put it sitting on top like that, and I'm going to plug the quick connect plug right in. That's it. You're done. Just stick them in there. I like to kind of, I don't know, smush the wires down, and like just because I don't want them flopping around in there, and then I get like rattling sounds and all kinds of stuff. Oh yeah, I put foam in there. Okay, that's neither here nor there. I need these screws. Just stick it in and get it started. And then we'll go around and snug them all down. I got a split ring right there, my pickup ring. I cracked the crap out of it like a year or two ago. So on that one, I'll have to be extra careful. Where'd that go? Here it is. Extra careful when I tighten that, because it's just split in two, man. Crap, I might not even put that. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to get some like JB Weld or something, and I'll put the plastic back together. And it's under the pickguard anyway, so you would never know that it's cracked. And if I put like the black JB Weld on there, you never see it because it's under the pickguard. So that is cool, man. And this is not a customer guitar because I don't have customers. It's my guitar, and so you can do that. Because the only person that would complain is me, and I don't do that. So snug them just a little bit. It's not a moving part, so it does not have to be He-Man He-Man tight. It's just a little snug, and that's it. It's not a moving part. It does not have to be He-Man tight. But now here's where I have to be super careful. See that? See that big crack? So I'm not going to over tighten that. In fact, I bet I can't go any more than that, or it's going to all snap off. And I'm just going to have it stay like that for now, because I want to play this thing tomorrow. It's like after midnight right now. So then we got the bridge. I'm going to clean all this up though. And I'll put it back on after that. All right, guys. One of the most important things is the slots on your nut. You can see how mine are kind of like blackened from putting some pencil graphite in there. I use a nut lube now, but anytime you can. I was looking for my cleaning things, but I don't know where they are. But anytime you can, I'll take an old guitar string and just run it through. And you want to have one that has like the coils on it from like a wound string, you know? Like, and just, sorry about that camera angle. And you just kind of drag it through. I'm not like taking any material off. I'm just cleaning it up a bit. And I'm going to use 2 hands to do this. So hang on a second. So I'm going to grab a string and just drag it through there. Just to scrape out any kind of like crap that has accumulated. And then I'll move on to like a new spot of the string, you know? So I'm not just using the same spot of the string. And I go to my next slot. Just dragging it through. I move to a new spot of my string. And I go to my next slot. Now it's getting like kind of tight there. So I'm probably going to have to go to a smaller string. So that is going to be, man, I think that is my smallest of the wound strings. Let's see what we can do. I'm just going to do all of them like this. I'm not able to get into it, so then I'm going to use an unwound string. I have some cleaning, it's like, oh no, this one's wound. Okay, this is my D string. If you get the clean, it's for like a blowtorch that you get at Home Depot. It's like a torch tip cleaner. It's like, I mean, they look like little sticks that are almost like guitar strings. They have like serrations, and I just use them to scrape it out. And they come in all different like thicknesses. So where did that string go? Right here. I'm just gonna run that through. Do all of them, and then I'm going to go to an unwound one and just drag it through the high E. Because this is really important that these are clean and they're clear and they're lubricated. It is like crazy important that is clean and clear and lubricated. I cannot stress that enough. It has to be that way. Otherwise, you're not going to stay in tune. So I got my 10s, and these are just round wound strings. I guess I didn't splurge to try anything on this one. On the other guitar, it's going to get half rounds. I have flats on, and then I went to round wounds from the Tomastic or Tomastic, or however you say it. And but like for this guitar, I like to keep it as like a bright sounding instrument, I like to keep it as close to a Telecaster as I can, because if I have to like play some country stuff that you would imagine a Telecaster being on, I use this guitar because I don't have a Telecaster. So let's unwind these strings. And we're gonna go with the big one. Which one's bigger? This one here. Okay. And you guys, I cannot stress enough how easy it is to swap strings on a guitar that has a Bigsby vibrato. It's really easy. All you gotta do is have a StringRay. The StringRay. I think they're like $15 or $20. Watch, I'll show you how to use it. So I take my string and I give it a bend in the exact same direction as like where the hole is. So like the hole is on top. I go in the same direction as the hole. All right, and then you got to go under the bar here. And my Bigsby arm is in the down position. Okay, so we go under the bar and then over this bar, and it goes under and onto the post. Just like this. Watch, let me get it on there. Can't see. There's a glare. Yeah, that's what it is. It's not that I'm not very good at this. Hold on. Okay, and if you need to, you can like you can lift up on that and just stick it on. Come on, baby. Stick it on, stick it on. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna pull this back around. It came off. Hold on. Hang on. See, the string through Bigsby would be nice. I'd like to have one of those. Okay, so look, I got it on there, right? Now hold that tension. And then what you do is you take your StringRay. It's like a hair clip almost, right? See how it has a curve up right here on this side? It's like, here we go. It can't get the angle right. It's longer on that side. I'm going to put it under this, and this is a clip. I push it down. I put it under, and it just holds it in there. And I'm able to let go. Here, watch this. So here's my StringRay. I put it, see here's like the clip. So the small end is on this side, and then for the long end, it goes up around and holds onto the pegs. So now, see my string is in there. There's the ball of my string right there. And the clip is holding it. So now, I can do anything that I need to do with this. And the ball is going to stay there. Okay? So I think how I usually do it is I do like one string at a time. So like I'll put it on, string this one up and tighten it, and then I'll take this off, and then I'll put like I can't talk, the A string on. I'll put this on, string it up, tighten it, the G string, so on. So, but I need to polish my fretboard, so I'm gonna work on that, and then I'll get all the rest of these on, and I think we'll be done. Oh yeah, and guys, one thing, it's super important. As you're stringing this up and starting to tighten the strings down, you can't forget about this. That's got to go in here. Okay? It's got to go in there and in there. So don't like tighten the strings all the way. You're going to have to pull this all the way up and then put the spring in and put it all the way down. And then you got to like jiggle it and get it all in. And then you're able to tune your guitar. So do not forget about the spring. And also the bridge. You have to put the bridge back on. I'm going to put the bridge right about there. Got the screws in the front going that way. Right? Now I can get my low E string and put it there. And then I'll make all of my adjustments after I get the strings on and tight. Still got to put the spring in. Not forgetting about that. It's right there. Don't forget that. So now I have the E string tight. My spring is in. I can take my StringRay off. Now I can do my next string. Now I'll have to go back and slacken the strings and make some adjustments and all that stuff. But look, I have my bend in my A string, and I go under, up and around. I just gotta get it over the peg, like this, on. Now, I put my StringRay back on. I tuck it down, all the way down, and I can let go. It's not gonna go anywhere. It's gonna hold that, it's gonna hold the ball end on. Now I'm gonna string this end up on the headstock. I'll tighten it, then I can take this off again. Okay, now the A string's tight. That means my StringRay can come off. It's gonna stay. And I like to straighten these things out, like these little curves. I'll have to get the E string later, that hurt. Now, I got my other strings here. Here's my D string. Here's my D string. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a bend. Bow wow. Bow wow. Okay, it can go under the bar, around the Bigsby, and onto the peg. Let's see, come on baby. Over the peg, we tighten it down, and then on goes our StringRay. I swear, this is not a sponsored video. I just really love this thing. Now I can tighten this down. I'll be right back. Okay, I got. Now, so all these are on and tight. Now I can take my StringRay off. Now I got 3 more strings to go. They got some colors on them. I got a purple, a silver, and a green. But I don't know what those colors mean, and I don't want to look at the package. So that is a high E string. This is a B, and yes, this is my G. This is my G. I know from touch. And I'm going to make a bend. Do-do-do-do. Put a little bend in it. Put a little bend in it. And that's a little harder to bend because. But anyway, I'm gonna go under, over and around. Hook the ball onto the peg. Hold it tight. Straighten it out a little bit. I'm going to put the StringRay on again, holding it down, and now I'm free to work. Here, I'll do this one in real time. Let's see. Get the string out of the way. So what I do is I drop my guitar, and then look for the hole. I put it in the hole. I put it in the slot. I put it in this slot. Line it up, and I'm just holding it, right? And I come up to my slot right here. I pick it up, and I pull it back, like just a hair over a fret, right? And back to here. And I bend this up. Bend up my loose end. And then I hold it down real tight. And I have to look for my string winder. Man, what the heck is it? we go. So, see how I already put the kink in it, so now I know it's gonna stop right there. So I can hold it down. Make sure that you spin it the right way. You want to turn it that way. So that means that, which way am I going to hold it? Yeah, I'm going to hold it right here. And I just start cranking. I want to go right under where it comes out, yet still holding it. So every time that it does a coil around, it goes under the previous wrap. I don't do a knot or anything like that. I've never done that, and I never have problems. But you just have to get that initial one, like I said, tight as possible. And then it'll tighten up as you go around too. Let's go. Go, 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 go. Get that out of the way. Keep going. Keep going. I think on these skinnier strings, you could probably go about half a fret of a pull. I might actually take that out. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. I do that a lot. Sometimes I'll take it back off and I'll do a different position. It never gives me problems. I mean, it's under a lot of, so if you're worried about a kink being inside here, I mean, like if it's on the inside of the coil, it's not going to really matter. I put it in the hole. And we're going to tighten this down. Let's get it in the bridge hole. And then we'll take a look at our wrap. Oh yeah, it's like crazy tight. There are like no kinks in that. We get a really, really small one at the very beginning, but it's not going to matter. Okay, now I can take off my StringRay, grab my next string, which is a B string. Oh, yep, see how that snapped in there? It wasn't all the way in, but that's normal. Still in there. Okay, now I'm going to put in my bend. Bending the... Yeah, we are bending the B string. It's like a B bender, only not at all. Under. Around, top and under. Straighten this thing out. And on to the peg. This one's weird. Okay, let's go around the other way. There we go. These skinny strings start getting flimsier and flimsier. It's harder to get. Oh, there we go. Got it on the peg. Pull it in, don't let go. Okay. Now we grab our StringRay, put it on, lock it down. I can let go, it's fine. Now I'm gonna string this up, I'm gonna shut the camera off. Alright, that one was super fast. StringRay comes off, and it'll stay. Put a bend. Put a bend in the coconut and drink it all up, I guess. I can't think of any other word to say there. Alright, go under. Small fingers help. Over and around and onto the peg. Can't see. Oh man, I got it right there. First try. Alright. Put the StringRay on, lock it down. Now I can let go. I'm just gonna let this one run. Oh man, you know what I did? Shoot. Gotta go over the peg. That's okay. And those little things are not gonna hurt your strings. I've done that my whole life. My whole life as a guitar player. And it's completely fine. Now there is one other thing I want to show you guys. Actually, there's probably a couple. So here we go. I'm gonna get in between these. Man, I gotta get these things out of the way. I'm gonna hurt myself. Alright, I'm gonna grab the string. I'm gonna pull it tight. And then I'm gonna grab it at the nut and come back about 1 fret, slightly over, just slightly on the other side of the fret. Then I'm gonna bend this up. Then I'm gonna hold it tight. And then I'm going to crank away. Crank away. And I'm holding it straight down. So each time a new wrap wraps around the pig head, it goes under the previous wrap. You want them to be stacked on top of each other. So it's like you're looking at a stack of dimes or something, you know? Stacking dimes, but in a guitar way, not as in a welding way. Stacking dimes, stacking dimes. Come on, baby, let's go, let's go. Get that out of the way. Almost there, almost there, almost there. And then we get to loosen all the strings again. StringRay comes off. Then I give my Bigsby a good whack and make sure that that spring is in there. Because everything has to get in there properly. Now here's what I wanted to show you. Check this out. How the strings, you know, they come off of the guitar. They go under and then over our Bigsby bar here. Well, as they go over here, sometimes they like will kink one way or the other. Like it'll come over and the string will be like going like that way or that way. You want them to be straight as you can. And also on the two strings on the end, the high E and your low E, sometimes they slip outside and they get stuck in a crack here. So you got to take them out. But it didn't happen on this time. So, but I am just gonna. Oh, and also if you have a stabilizer bar like mine, sometimes they'll get stuck in the crack that's like right here. Underneath, like where they go in, it gets stuck in between, like up against these. So you don't want them to be, so like my high E is actually stuck in there right now. I don't know if you can see that. It's stuck in there though. So I need to pull it out. So if I have to slacken the string, I will. And I'm probably going to do that. And that way, I'm not going to hurt anything. And then I just kind of, I'll give it a push down and slide it over. That's all I got to do. And I'm going to check this, make sure it goes over straight. And then I'll just retighten it. That's all I got to do. That's not too tight. Alright, so that one is... And it's really close, but it's hard to see. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm going to check my... See how I'm just... Look, here, watch, I'll show you what I'm talking about. See my A string right here? Sometimes when you put it on, it'll be like stuck like that. Or the other way. It'll be like that. You don't want that. You want it to be as straight as you can get it. So I'll have to go through And I'll do this like a couple times because I'm gonna have to make some adjustments with my bridge. But at the very end of everything, and I'm gonna put some lubrication in my slots. This thing slipped off the bridge, and so I'll be slackening and tightening these strings a whole lot. And then at the very end, and then we'll check our pickup heights, and then at the very end, I'll put my pickguard on. So, but that's good. Yeah, that sounds great, doesn't it? Would help if we tuned it. All right, so let me put in some nut lube. So here's another thing too. You can just leave this StringRay on. Like if you're gonna have to be slackening the strings a lot and trying them again, because the ball ends will slip off of your Bigsby. So now I'm just gonna take my nut lube. I don't know like what awesome kind is, but I'm just using this because that's what I got. And I just do the tiniest little bit in the slot. Watch it come out, and then I'm gonna kind of squish it in there. Do a little bit more, some extra, and then I'll pop it in. And then at the end, I'll just wipe it all down. I loosened my B string too. I'm gonna put it in there. How much of that's coming out? I can't see. There we go. Shove it in there. And I'll tighten these ones. And then tighten my B. Then I'll loosen my G. Yank it out. Lube it up. Yank it out and lube it up. It's a lot on that one. That's okay. Squish it in there. And then we're going to tighten it up. I'm going to do it for all the strings. Actually, oh man, forgot to do the bridge saddles. I'll have to do those strings again. Because what I'm doing, because I'm thinking about you guys right now and what the video's going to look like. And I'm not paying attention to my actual work. I'm going to do a little bit more in that one. So, yeah, I'm going to put the stuff in there, and then I'm also going to put it in my bridge saddle. Because that is really important too. And not a whole lot in there, because there's not a big slot. Man, I could get all these actually, I think. It's easier to pick it up from this angle. Yeah, just get it in there, wipe it off. See if I can do that. Yeah, we can do that. Oh, man. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, I'm not even looking at this right. Because there's a glare on here. There we go. And can we get our G? Oh, no, those high strings are tight. I wonder if we could get the A without having to, yeah, we can pull the A right out of there. It wasn't that tight to begin with, because we weren't, oh crap, look at that mess, because we weren't all the way tuned up in the first place. That was a mess. Okay, but so we got a lot on our A string slot, so, but that's okay, because we're gonna wipe it up after we're done. Get that in there. Get it from the very top and drop it in so it squeezes it all. I have to wash my pants that I just washed last night. The low E. At the same time, we'll tighten our D. Pull this baby out. That's a big slot. Yeah, that's perfect. Now we're going to go right on top of the glop. On top of the glop. Okay. And then that one can tighten. And this is going to help to break in our strings also, since we're playing with them this much. But now for these high skinny strings, I gotta get the bridge saddles. I forgot about them. So we're gonna knock that out real quick. Only take about 20 seconds, I'm hoping. You start counting. Oh, come on, baby. Yeah, it's good enough. There's one. Okay. 2. And number 3 is right there. Okay. Now we tighten. Make sure we're in. 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 And we're in all these. Okay. So now I'm ready to tune. All right. So let's get an E going. I'll turn on my TV. This isn't going to be exactly perfect because they have to stretch so much, but here, I'm going to shut that off. Go back to, crap, where did I hit? I lost my E. I think, yeah, it's close enough. Okay, you guys don't want to watch me do this. But it is important that you tune the guitar to itself, not to a tuner. Like I use a tuner to get like 1 or 2 notes as like a starting bass, but then I tune the guitar like to itself. That's how a guitar is gonna sound best. And I play with like power chords all over the place. Like I can't talk, so you could hear that. It's a little sharp. And then you go all the way down and bring it up. That's a good perfect fifth. That's pretty close. Man, you just can't see anything. it in, break it in. Oh, you hear that? Something moved. Oh, it's because our StringRay is on. That's what it was. Let's take that guy off of there. Okay, now I'm gonna check the angle of my strings going over the bar. It is looking a little bit off. I'm gonna have to slacken the low E string just a tiny bit and scoot it over, but that's not a big deal. I mean, that's like, I can do that now. I can do that right now. Just gonna get it over a hair with my fingernail, and that's on right there. So we're lubed up. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'll put the pickguard on tomorrow because I need to check my pickup height, and it's like, I think it's like 1:30 in the morning right now. So for tonight, I'm just going to stretch the strings out, and then I'll retune it, and I'll play it a little bit, and I'll do the rest tomorrow. So you know how I was saying that when you take stuff apart, you have to pay attention. Well, the one thing that I did not pay attention to was the quick connect plugs. I plugged the pickups into the wrong plugs. And it was weird too, because on the inside, in the wiring harness, it has a plug that goes like this and a plug that goes like that. So naturally, I plugged this pickup into this plug and this pickup into this plug. However, when I put it on the treble position, I played it and I could hear like the neck pickup, or sorry. So when I put it in this position, I hear that pickup, and when I put it in like a bass position, I heard my treble pickup. I don't know if I'm explaining that right. It was opposite. Either way, it was opposite. So now I just have to swap the plugs, but that's easy. And so what I did was, when I strung it up and everything, started playing it, and I had some spots up here that were like very dead. It wasn't like producing any notes. And what happened was, when I fretted a note here, the string was hitting on my pickup because it was like so high. So all I did was I dropped that pickup a little bit, and then they played okay. I think, but a lot of people, like, their initial like instinct is, oh, just like raise the bridge up. But you shouldn't have to have high action for a guitar to play right. And what I realized was, when I pushed it down, that string was hitting on that same pickup. So I just dropped it. And right now, man, I gotta slacken the strings. Not all the way, but just enough so that I can slide the pickup out of the hole and then just swap the plug position. But man, that sucks. I wasn't paying attention, and that's what I get. So, and the reason I'm making this video here is just for like stuff that you may encounter if you're doing your own work. Instead of paying like $150 to have somebody do your guitar up, which sometimes I'll still do. If it's having a problem and I've made every adjustment that I can like think of, and it's still not right, or if I want the frets like professionally polished, I still take it in. It's just I don't want to have to do that every time, you know. So the pickups are in the right spots. It's just the plugs are in the wrong spot. So this plug has to go into that one. So we're going to do this. I'm going to take this one out. Shoot. So that's going to come out of there, and it's going to go in the other one. Which is kind of weird, I think, but hey, if that's where they go, then that's where they go. And now, no, where'd that go? Oh, it's up here, right here. And now this one is gonna go into the other plug. They're in there, they're nice and tight. Oh, I'll double check that. And then we'll just slap them back in. Which way is gonna be the best way? Like, I don't want to have a lot of kinks in this thing. Yeah, there we go. That, and then we're gonna stick that down there, and then we'll just throw the screws back on our mounting screws, and hopefully that is going to correct the problem. So I still have to go through and I have to do string height. It's not so bad right now, but you know, like I like to play around with it and go as low as I can, and then I'll bring them up a tiny bit so that they are like loud and clear, you know. Where's the hole? Where's the hole? I see one or two. And I checked the truss rod, and it looks pretty good, but I'll still go through after I get things more squared up, and I'll make all the small adjustments, and then I'll have a good playing guitar. This is an easy guitar to play too. I love this thing. And man, I'll tell you what, I've been playing the other guitar that I have that has the Franz P90 pickups in it, the Guild, and my ears have become accustomed to hearing that guitar with the pickups in it that it has. And man, I plugged this one in for today, and man, this thing, it like sounds so good, so like clear and like Gretchy sounding. Oh crap, I don't want to crack that. And it's a nice like treat on my ears because I haven't heard it in a while. And man, I love using the Bigsby. Wow, wow, wow. And I'll make sure that that spring is all the way down, and then we'll retighten our strings, and hopefully we're good to go. I got some of that our nut lube on the strings here because I pulled them loose. So we're gonna tighten it up. Are we in all? Oh no, we're not in all of our spots. Hold on. Okay, we gotta get. See, our strings, they popped out of their slots here. Let's get this thing in tune. All right, so I've been playing around with my pickup heights, and so after I swapped the plugs, and now everything's right. So here's my treble. Here's my bass. Here's my treble. But it seems like for my bass pickup, it needs to be a tiny bit stronger sounding. treble one sounds. I had to like, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take my, for my bass pickup, and I'm gonna like bring it up a little bit, and I'm just eyeballing this. Right, screw it in, and it comes up. But I don't want to go too high because then I'll have that problem, and I'll have a dead string. So let's hear it. So I go by ear. So you want like a consistent volume across, like switching, right? So here's my bass. Oh, this is up. And you also want to have a consistent volume across all of your strings from high to low, right? So that's like pretty consistent there. Now when I switch, yeah, so that's like still too quiet. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the treble pickup, since I don't want to go any higher with that for that one. So I'm going to drop my treble pickup. And let's see what happens. Oh, that's a huge difference. See, I went too low, so now I have to bring it back up a little bit. So we're gonna raise it up. Come on. Oh, yeah, I'm going the wrong way, huh? Going the wrong way. Raise it up. be louder. Yeah, it needs to be louder. Let's raise it up a little bit then. But I don't want to go too high. So what was I doing there? Okay, so now on our big strings, the treble is starting to overpower my neck pickup. And I don't want that. Like just a tiny bit. So maybe I'll leave that one alone and I'll go on to, I'll make the pickup like kind of like cocked up a bit on my treble end of it. Let's do that. It's a little better. Slippery stuff on these strings. So that's pretty close for now. I think I'm going to stop, and if I need to make any small adjustments, I'll do that on my own time, but that's how I do it. And I'll leave my pickguard off because I'll be making small, like super tiny adjustments, but everything is working good. Oh, and look, the scratches went away. I had some pretty bad scratching. So our deoxidizer worked. So that's cool. And I didn't even have to take anything apart. I just sprayed it on the inside, like where that post is in there. And it worked. And then you like that, you know. How does it go? I have a hard time with that tremolo picking. I don't ever practice it. I'm really bad at it. I really need to practice that. I'm so terrible at that. Anyway.